Alcohol is ubiquitous in our culture. There are many regulations and recommendations surrounding its use. Two things come to mind. One is drinking and driving, or more broadly speaking, operating any kind of vehicle. Can I have a drink if I'm operating a boat? And two, what if I just like to have a drink every once in a while? Is there such a thing as a normal alcohol consumption? This is Dr. Fedorchenko, addiction psychiatrist in Dallas, Texas. Today, let's talk about norms of alcohol consumption and the legal limits of alcohol use. First, couple of things on units and terminology. There are several ways to measure blood alcohol content. Most physicians are familiar with blood or serum alcohol levels that are measured in milligrams per deciliter. In the legal or forensic setting, a notion of blood alcohol concentration is more common, and the units that are used are percent, or more specifically percent weight by volume. This is true for the United States, Australia, and Canada. Many other countries use per mil, not percent, or parts per thousand, not parts per hundred. For example, 1 gram of alcohol in 100 milliliters of blood would equal 1% blood alcohol concentration. Or in other words, for each particle of alcohol by mass, there would be 100 particles of blood by volume, or 1%. To easily convert serum alcohol levels to blood alcohol concentration, simply move the value 3 decimal points to the left. For instance, if serum alcohol level comes back on 100 milligrams per deciliter, then the blood alcohol concentration would equal 0.1%. You can get the same result by converting milligrams per deciliter to grams per milliliter. Here's the conversion if you want to take a look. Alright, enough math. How about the legal limits of blood alcohol content? Many countries use different cutoff values for legal intoxication while operating a vehicle. There is really no single international standard that would be the same for everybody. For the United States, the value is 0.08. Except for Utah. Utah has recently passed a law lowering the blood alcohol concentration to 0.05. Importantly, blood alcohol concentration of 0.08 applies if you are over 21 and if you're driving your own car. Commercial vehicles, boats, airplanes have lower legal limits, and if you're below 21, then there is practically zero legal tolerance about drinking and driving. Let's take a look at this value, 0.08%. This is 0.08% or 8 particles of alcohol in 10,000 particles of blood. How much alcohol is it? Well, an average person of 70 kilograms has about 5 liters of blood in them. 0.08% of blood alcohol concentration would mean they have about 80 milligrams of alcohol per deciliter of blood, which would translate into 4 grams of pure ethanol in a total volume of blood. It might seem like a small number, but remember, alcohol doesn't just stay in one's blood, it gets redistributed in a total body weight, mostly in the tissues that contain a lot of water. So the value of 4 grams or 0.08% of blood alcohol concentration is just a proxy of how much total alcohol is in one's body. Alright, all this makes sense. But how much can one drink before getting to the legal level of intoxication? Before we answer this question, let's talk about the notion of the standard drink. What we consider a standard drink varies among the countries and quite a lot. In the United States, standard drink is defined as a drink containing 0.6 United States fluid ounces of ethanol, which converts into about 14 grams of alcohol. Yes, in the United States, we still use imperial system. Just for reference, in the UK, standard drink contains 8 grams of alcohol, and in Austria it contains 20 grams of pure alcohol. I was not able to find anything about how we actually come up with these values. Why is it 8 grams in UK, 14 grams in the US, and 20 grams in Austria? We just have these reference ranges. I suppose it has something to do with the measurement of alcohol absorption through the gut, but I actually don't know. Importantly, there are a number of good infographics that show how many standard drinks are in common types or popular types of alcoholic drinks. Like this one from National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, That shows, for example, that 1 can of beer contains about 1 standard drink. By the way, here are the recommended limits of alcohol consumption per day. 2 or less standard drinks per man, not to exceed 14 drinks per week, and 1 or less standard drink for women per day, not to exceed 7 drinks per week. The recommended limit is less for women than for men because relative to the body weight, women have less water content. For a given body weight and a given amount of alcohol consumed, women tend to have a higher blood alcohol concentration. There is less water that alcohol can be distributed in, and so this drives the concentration up. And here's the definition of heavy drinking. For men, it is more than 4 drinks per day or more than 14 drinks per week. For women, it is more than 3 drinks per day or 7 drinks per week. Alright, now that we know what a standard drink is and what are the limits and recommendations for daily consumption, for weekly consumption, for men and women, can I calculate how many drinks can I have before my blood alcohol concentration goes up to the legal limit? Yes, you can find the blood alcohol content calculator. I personally like the one from National Institutes of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, but there are many others. You will be asked about the gender, the amount of drinks that you had, how much time passed since the first drink, your body weight, and then you will get the value that roughly estimates the blood alcohol content. And how much time will it take for your body to process all that alcohol. Again, I don't know the formulas that I use for these calculators, but if I had to guess, I think it's well-known Eric Widmer's formula. For anyone who is interested, check it out. Here's an important thing. Drinking and driving is always dangerous. You might not get to the legal limits of alcohol content, but you might still be impaired. The safest driving is with 0 blood alcohol content. Here, this is the table that shows how different amounts of blood alcohol content influence our functioning and cognitive abilities. Alright, we talked about the units and measurements, the legal standard for intoxication, the blood alcohol content, the daily recommended use, and the notion of the standard drink. I hope you guys like this content and find it useful. If so, consider subscribing to my channel. There are more videos to come. Thanks for watching and see you next time.